Good evening to our fellow students, our followers on Benjamin Academy, or good morning from wherever you are watching us live from. We are happy to start again with our lectures for the next session. We are going to be talking on world affairs today, and we are going to look at session C for those who be writing advanced level history in 2022-2023 academic year. We are going to be talking on a topic in session C, world history, which is Bismarckian diplomacy from 1870 to 1890. When we talk about Bismarck was a German chancellor. He was a German chancellor and diplomat who formed a policy which was codenamed Bismarckian diplomacy for the period of 20 years in Europe. When we talk about diplomacy, we refer to countries struggling to make relations with other countries. That is what we call diplomacy. Otto von Bismarck had been the governor of the state of Prussia when Germany was still under a confederation. And his desire was that the German confederation should become a united Germany. And he successfully did this by defeating France in the Franco-Prussian War. Franco-Prussian War of 1870 to 1871. This war, after the defeat of France by Bismarck in the Franco-Prussian War, Bismarck signed the Treaty of Frankfurt in 1871 against France. This treaty was signed to sanction France, for France to accept defeat, and in the terms of this Treaty of Frankfurt, Germany seized Alsace and Lorraine from France, which were some territories from France that Germany seized, and they were very rich and they were very crucial in the Franco-German relations. Aside Alsace and Lorraine that was taken from France by Germany, France was also asked to pay indemnity of £200 million or a fine of £200 million, as well as German troops were stationed in France. When Bismarck has successfully crushed down France through the Treaty of Frankfurt, Bismarck never wanted France to come back and had intention of taking back Alsace and Lorraine. Alsace and Lorraine were rich in coal and oil. These resources were very pertinent for the economy of France. So Bismarck, in his diplomacy, did not want to see France coming over to take Alsace and Lorraine. And because of this, he became a tactician in diplomacy that for 20 years in Europe, he was able to isolate France. Now, what were the objectives or the aims of Bismarck in foreign policy? The first one was isolation of France and the prevention of a war of revenge. As Ella said, after the Franco-Prussian War, Bismarck wanted to isolate France. Isolating France means Bismarck did not want to see France moving closer to any other European nation. At the time in Europe, there were four major countries whom Bismarck discovered that if France formed an ally with any of these countries, that is when France would come and fight Germany in order to take back Alsace and Lorraine. And so, Bismarck in his foreign policy wanted to isolate France from preventing France from forming an alliance with Austria, Hungary. There was Russia, there was Italy, and Britain. These were the countries where Bismarck in his foreign policy did not want to see France moving closer to any of these countries. And the most of these countries were Austria and Russia. These were the cardinal point where Bismarck hated to see France moving closer to, because Bismarck knew that France could not fight Germany, alone without forming an ally with any of these countries. So, for over 20 years, Bismarck came out with the policy, or he became a tactician in diplomacy where he has to isolate France. The second objective of Bismarck in foreign policy, we should be talking about prevention of anti-German coalition. Bismarck in his foreign policy, he did not want to see any country antagonize Germany, forming a relation or forming an ally with another European country. So his objective was to prevent any country that wanted to be an obstacle to Germany forming an alliance with Austria-Hungary, with Russia, with Britain, and with Italy. So Bismarck has to make sure that he avoid or he makes sure that his cardinal countries, Austria and Russia, he makes sure that these countries that were his cardinal countries, that no country should make sure that it prevents Germany from forming an alliance with Austria and Russia. We could see this when Bismarck has, after the Franco-Prussian of 1870-1871, 1 year after in 1872, Bismarck convinced the rulers or the emperors of Austria and Russia, and they formed the Dreikaiserbund. He immediately convinced them and they formed a verbal agreement, which was the Emperor of Austria, Emperor Francis Joseph, we have Tsar Alexander II of Russia, and Kaiser William I of Germany. All these emperors have to come together and they form the first alliance, which was the Dreikaiserbund of 1872. So Bismarck did not want any country to prevent Germany from forming an alliance with any other European country. Number three objective of Bismarck, we talk about preservation of European peace. After German unification, Bismarck felt that Germany was a self-sufficient country, that Germany was enjoying, Germany was benefiting from unification. Germany was the dominant power in Europe in terms of land, it was dominating Europe. So Bismarck, in his foreign policy or his diplomacy, he did not want to see a war in Europe because he felt that the status quo or the balance in power where Germany was dominating European affairs and politics will only be destroyed when there will be a war in Europe. So Bismarck in his policy attempted to make sure that a war shouldn't occur in Europe, because when Germany will get herself involved in a war, Germany will be disturbed, and German control of European politics and affairs will no longer be stable, and another European country could easily come over and take the European affairs from Germany. We could see it as in the Balkan crisis, where there was a crisis in the Balkan between Austria and Britain, who were against Russia. And because of the Balkan crisis, Bismarck summoned the Berlin Conference of 1878 in order to mediate and come out with peace in the Balkan, so that, or in Europe, so that a war should not emerge in Europe, and in case a war starts, who was Bismarck going to fight with or to support between Austria, Russia, and Britain, whom they were all countries that Bismarck wanted to use them and form its ally to prevent them from forming an alliance with France. So Bismarck at all costs struggled to prevent a war in Europe, such as the case that was in the Balkan, where he summoned the Berlin Conference of 1878 to mediate, and he became a honest broker at the end of the Berlin Conference of 1878. Again, this Bismarck wanted in his foreign policy to concentrate on European affairs. Bismarck, from the onset, wanted to concentrate on European affairs and did not want to divert to other issues. From the onset, Bismarck was not interested in colonial race. He did not want to involve herself into colonies in Africa and other continents. This was because Bismarck felt that if Germany got herself involved into affairs affairs out of Europe, it will make Germany to have conflicts with other European nations. So for Bismarck, his main objectives was to concentrate on European issues and stay out of issues out of Europe. And because of that, Bismarck was not involved in the colonial race from the onset. He did not join the colonial race because his mindset or his objective was not to concentrate in European affairs. From the scramble of Africa, other European nations were involved in the scramble. Bismarck made it that I am not a colonial man, and he went further to state that colonies are good for nothing because the domestic policy of Germany was not to involve herself in colonies. So Bismarck, in his foreign policy, wanted to concentrate in European affairs to dominate European politics. Again, the last objective of Bismarck in foreign policy was to divert the attention of other European nations away from Europe. Bismarck was a tactician in diplomacy, and this was demonstrated when Bismarck encouraged other European nations to go and have interest in colonizing territories in Africa so that these European nations will not have interest in European affairs, and at that point in time, Germany will be the country to handle European affairs. Bismarck did so when he encouraged France in order to divert the attention of France away from Europe, from concentrating on returning back Alsace and Lorraine. Bismarck encouraged France to go to Tunis, to go to Africa and take over Tunis. And Bismarck again was a person who encouraged Britain annexation of Egypt in 1882, the British occupation of Egypt in 1882, as well as encouraging Italy to go to Libya in North Africa. Bismarck did this because he knew that Britain going to Egypt would divert the attention of Britain away from Europe. France going to France going to Tunis will also divert her attention away from Europe, from concentrating on taking back Alsace and Lorraine. And Italy go and take Libya, and when Italy will go, Italy will forget about European affairs, and at the end of the day, Bismarck himself will be the center of European politics and the economy, and Germany will control Europe. So those were some of the objectives of Bismarck foreign policy that we are going to look. We are going to come back for our subsequent did so on the manifestation of how Bismarck was able to isolate France for over 20 years in his foreign policy. Time for watching this first session of the lectures. We'll see you back in the next session.